right? This is a topic that I'm very, very passionate about. Sorry, there's an echo. I don't know. Okay, there's noise at the background there. I don't know where it's coming.
I think let me mute everybody so that I unmute you.
Okay. I think I've done that for you. Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay. So I said I count it as a very rare privilege to be among you all tonight, and I will not take it for granted. I would like it to be as interactive as possible. So I want to start by talking about gender equality. You know, growing up, maybe those of us that grew up in the 70s and even before then, I'm sure a good number of us, this is one topic that we started hearing about it towards the end of the 90s. It was not a topic that we were conversant with. So I believe most of the women that are here, we were mostly reared by parents that played a great role in helping us to be, especially women that are gender aware. I'm sure we were raised by parents that played a great role in helping us to know that we can attain anything that we want to attain in life. I had the rare privilege of having a father and a mother that affirmed me and always made me to believe that there's nothing I set my mind to do that I cannot achieve it. There's nothing I want to be in life that I cannot be that thing in life. So that was a rare privilege because I share notes and experiences with friends, and I know that it was not always like that. Maybe they were in families where men do this type of, the boys are supposed to do this, the girls are supposed to do that. So, but I was privileged to be raised by people who made me to see that there is no bias in any form. What is good for you is also good for your brothers. What is good for your brothers is good for you. So that was the kind of home I was privileged to be raised in. So to attain gender equality, I believe that I noted some things I believe will help us to, especially for young girls. So I prepared this for younger girls and the younger ones coming behind us. One of the things I believe we need to do to attain that is what we're doing tonight. We're talking to ourselves as ladies, we're talking to the younger girls coming behind us. We're talking to them to believe that, see, this thing is just a buzzword. It is happening, but at the same time, if you set your mind to it, you can be whatever you want to be in life. You can attain whatever you want to attain in life. You don't need to follow you don't need to depend on a man to be able to do what you need to do. The men are supposed to be your partner in progress. They are not supposed to limit you if you don't limit yourself. So we need to keep the conversation going with the younger ones coming behind us. That, see, there's nothing you set your mind to do that you cannot do. All the things that has not been attained before now, you can attain it, and you can be all those things and even much more if you set your mind to it and if you truly, truly desire it. Then we need to introduce the girls to technology. Thank God we're in a techie world now. Everything is driven by technology, the phones, the iPads, all the gadgets are there. So we need to expose them to using it to achieve results rather than just using it to play, to send messages, just for socializing alone. We need to let girls know that you can always use the search engine to gain knowledge, to improve yourself, to see so many things from other people's worldview that are not there presently, but you can use it now to be able to gain as much knowledge and experience that you want to attain and add to yourself. So the technology should be, we should let them see the technology as a means to be able to improve themselves, not just a means to be able to know the latest trends in fashion or what is happening in other people's life. It should be a means for them to be able to say that, oh, this is what I want to do. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I set up? You know, things that they need to constantly engage in to be able to be better at what they are doing. Maybe in terms of academics, how to read up more on a particular topic and be able to digest it and use such knowledge to improve the world in which they live in presently. Then another thing, I believe if all of us that are here in our little space, in our little corners, we put our foot down to some biases and traditional beliefs that limit girls, and we are always adding our voice, we are ready to add our voice and make people see that when you do this, let me use a very common example now, maybe in terms of sexual harassment of girls, or maybe the girls are being sexually abused. If you take up that battle that no, I will not sit and watch and let other people deprave these girls or make them sex tools, I will speak against it, I will work against it, and whenever I see it happening, I will take it up with the authorities and I will fight the battle to the end to make sure that girls are not being sexually abused, girls are not being turned to sex toys or being sent forth in early marriage so that they are denied the education that they need to be someone in life, or they are denied all the things that will make them to be the best that they can be in life. Then another one is to make education something that is easily accessible to people. I know that good education can be very expensive, but you know, some of us, or those of us that God might have been able to put us in a position to be able to sponsor these girls, nothing stops us from sending them to schools and paying their way through that school and being you can even be the catalyst of education for them by enlightening them, reorientating them about certain beliefs or stereotypes that are going around, so that you know, you give them a different worldview from what they currently believe in. Then another thing, you know, I believe that girls are not just girls just because of their gender. What makes you a woman? We need to raise girls that grows up into the kind of woman that will elevate our society. So how do we do this? We need to keep on raising the girls to be the kind of women that we desire to see in our society. We need to give them values that make them to believe that they are limitless, they can be whatever they choose to be. Then another, you know, it's not just about sending them to school. I believe maybe you are sponsoring a get through school now. It's not enough for you to just say, I'm sending her to school. You need to also be there for such girls to be able to make them to be able to make them see that, see, I'm sending you to school because I want you to be a better person in life, and you know, open their eyes to see a world where they can always see something, a problem or a solution that they can bring into the society we live in. Open their mind to be able to see that this world we live in needs more of people that will collaborate and come together to be able to raise the society, and make them to see that the education that you are giving them, they should also be thinking of paying it forward later in life. If they see a young girl that is being deprived of education, they should come forth and say that I will see this girl through school, I will hold her hand to be able to walk through life and become something meaningful and in her life. Then the mothers, there's this thing I usually enjoy doing. Maybe if I go shopping in the open market, I try as much as possible to talk to all the market women one-on-one. As you are selling to me, I'm engaging you in conversation. And basically, the whole essence is to encourage them to raise their children well, send their children to school, you know, break it down for them in a way that is easily understandable for them. This is how, you know, you're selling this now, you're selling melon seeds. You don't need to limit it to just selling melon seed. Every day you can do contributions, and from that contribution you can give so amount, put it aside, so that when your child needs to go to school, you will be able to bring out something, no matter how small, and send that child to the kind of school you can afford. And when the child is going to school, support her, make her to see the world that it can be better than this. She doesn't need to limit herself to the present situation. You know, basically raising the women to be able to see that they also need to raise their girls well, and they need to raise their girls to be able to face the challenges of the current world and be able to see that it's not something that needs to limit them. Then, you know, I would also like to encourage us that, you know, when you see a woman that is struggling and trying to make the ends meet, as women, we should not look down on such women, but we should rather encourage them and make them to see the dignity in the labor that they are facing presently. There's dignity in working out, there's dignity in being the best at what you are doing. Let us always encourage, let us inspire, let us motivate these women to be all that, you know, all the best that they can bring into that their current endeavor, so that as like that, you don't know what seed you are sowing that it will grow to become an iroko tree tomorrow. So let us try as much as possible to make ourselves friends and allies, so that we're coming together, we're encouraging each other, we're making the world to be better for every woman that we come in contact with. We should not be the kind of woman that looks down on every other woman that is not making it presently, but we should be the kind of woman that make women to see their work as contributing something to the economy, to elevate their status as well, and not look down on themselves and be discouraged that this little thing that I'm doing, it doesn't even amount to anything. Let us be the encourager to every woman that we come in contact with. Then the most important one that I always say to people, election is coming up in Nigeria by next year. Let us encourage as many women as we know that have the aspiration and the desire to be in political office. Let us push them out there. If we, you know, let us talk to them. You can even make them to share their manifestos with you. And when you see that it does not really meet up to what it ought to be, you that you are well exposed, you have seen a better world, you have seen so many things that they may not even be privileged to see. Nothing stops you from being the one that will encourage them, from being the one that will educate them, from being the one that will make them to see that this political office you are seeing, if you go there and mess up, you are messing with the future and the world of so many other women coming behind you. So you need to go in there and make a difference. We need to go in there and make the world better, so that any other woman coming behind, they will always make reference to it that, oh, Mrs. So-so-so or Miss So-so-so was there in 2023, in the 2023 election, she won, and she came into office, she did this, and that. So that if any other woman wants to come into office, you will always be the reference point for them to say that when she was there, she was able to do this, she was able to do that. But if you go there and mess it up, they will always make reference to it that we've given women the chance. When they came in, they did this, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, they didn't do that. So we don't want them to come and mess things up for us again. So see yourself as the headliner that is making a way for other women to be able to walk through that path and be able to do it successfully well, so that you will be the good reference point that they always have. Then, you know, I believe that when presently we have a lot of women in different professions and in different vocations, but at the same time, there are some professions that they still believe that is not meant for women. Nothing stops you from encouraging young girls to go into it, because you believe that there is nothing that is meant for a man that is not meant for a woman. Is it not the same brain? Why can the brain of a man function in that capacity and the brain of a woman will not function in such a capacity? You should be the one to say, to stand and encourage the young girls that, see, this occupation, this profession, nothing stops you from going into it and being the best that you want to be in it. So we should encourage women to take on non-traditional roles. Nothing stops you from saying to your daughter that she can be the first, you know, let her be the first person that will even go into a profession that they've always said this is for the men. Nothing stops you from saying that you can also be this, you can also be that. Everybody has what it takes to be whatever they want to be. We are created in the image and likeness of God. And that image is a limitless image. It is an image that whatsoever you say that this is what I want to be, he will not stop you. Rather, he will encourage you. He will equip you with the power to be that thing that you desire to be. So let us also encourage other young girls coming behind us. Let us tell them that they can be that thing that they so desire. Let us tell them that they can work in that profession and make a success of it. And another thing, we need to work together. They always say that women don't work well together. I don't believe it is true. I don't believe it is true. As it is that you might not work well together with a male colleague, it can also happen that you have a female colleague that you are not working well together. But if you desire that I want to work successfully together with my female colleague, you can always play the mature role that when things are not working the way it ought to be, you can always call the person and be like, I notice that we always have this. Communicate, talk to the person, let the person know that I don't have an issue with you on a personal level. I want the best in the workplace so that we can all achieve our goals and be able to make a success of our time here. So that we, talk to the person. You never can tell, maybe there are some personal things that the person is going through individually. And I find out that some women find it difficult to compartmentalize. Maybe you have a personal issue at home, you bring it to the office and you start acting up. Every woman should be able to compartmentalize what they are going through. If you have a personal issue in the office, I remember some years back, a colleague said this in the office, that women should learn that when they have their personal issues at home, once they get into the office, keep it in a compartment behind your desk. Once the work day is over, you can choose to pick it up and take it back to your home and trash it, or you let it give you sleepless nights, but don't make the mistake of bringing it into the work environment. That's a fantastic advice that I always share with younger girls, because you see a lot of girls in the workspace and they are acting up. So when I call them and I'm like, why are you doing this? I have personal issues. I'll be like, what? You don't bring personal issues into a work environment. You are here to work and to deliver. You will be appraised based on your deliverables, not on your personal issues that you are bringing into the office. So let us also be as many women as possible that we see, so that we will find ways of working successfully together. We'll find ways of watching each other's back, so that they will not keep throwing it in our face that women don't work well together. We work well together and we achieve results together. So let us always have this at the back of our mind, that this is what I want and this is how it ought to be, because as a woman, I want other women to thrive. As a woman, I want other women to break every ceilings and every bias that is being set against them. As a woman, I want every other woman to be celebrated as attaining their goals. So let us watch each other's back. Let us be each other's sister. Let us be each other's friends. Let us be each other's colleagues that are always looking out for the best of each other. So when you see a woman, one thing that limits women at a good number of times is the violence that they might be facing at home. Maybe the woman is facing domestic violence at home. You should be the one to be able to walk through that part with the woman. When you see a woman facing domestic violence, you should be able to advise her that there's only one thing. There are two ways that this thing can turn around. Is either it kills you or you take a walk and let both of you seek counseling. Maybe you can still make it work. But it's always better to leave that scene of violence so that you don't perish in it. So let us be women that encourage each other. Don't let us be the women that look down or deride our sisters that are facing domestic violence. When our own mouth is too sharp, why would she not be facing domestic violence? Don't let us be the woman that is always like, it's good for her. Only God knows how she's treating the man. That's why the man is always beating her. Save life first before you start casting blame on the woman. Her life matters just as your own life matters. What if you wake up the next morning and that woman is gone? Maybe she was beaten overnight and she died. So let us be the woman that helps each other through any form of violence that we have been confronted with, so that we'll be able to live better life and achieve more in our life with our lives. So please let us stop the violence against women. Let us stop every form of sexual violence, domestic violence that women might be facing, and let us help each other to be able to do better with our life. Then when we see a woman facing backlash, we should not be the one that will also add to it. Maybe guys are talking like, why is she, or maybe male colleagues in the office are talking about a particular female colleague. Don't let us join voices with them. Let us find a way to validate our sister, talk about her good things, say nice things about her that you don't know what she's facing. Maybe that is why, you know. Don't let us join forces with men to deal with other women. I'm not setting men against women, but at the same time, when they bring such conversations to you, don't join with them. Don't join in such conversation. Try to find a way of speaking well of your sister. Play it around and look at it in this way, that what if I'm the one that is being spoken about in this manner? How will I feel? What you will want someone to say about you in such a circumstance is what I believe you should say about a female colleague that they are talking about in that manner. So how do we make ourselves to stand out at work and break every glass ceiling that might be limiting us, every bias that might be limiting us? One thing I always do with my senior colleagues or with my line manager is, after the appraisals and everything, I try to also talk to her and ask her what she thinks I can do to be better at what I'm doing. And I also ask for feedback from my other colleagues, male, female, what have you, either up there or younger colleagues. I ask everyone what they believe I should be doing better to do, what I should be doing to be better at my work and to be able to achieve more results with my work. Then every week, let me start with, every day I come up with a to-do list of what I need to achieve for that day. Every week I have an action plan of what I need to do. And every month too, I break everything down that I need to do. And every quarter, so at the end of each quarter, I sit down, assess everything, and see what stopped me from achieving some of the things that I couldn't do. And at the end of the day as well, I look through my list and check out what I was unable to do and what was it that made me not be able to do them. So this has been very helpful for me, because I find out that most of the tasks that before now, I'll just find out that I couldn't do them. I find out that I'm able to do most of the things I set out to do. And at the end of the day, when I'm being appraised, I get a good rating because I've been able to do everything according to the way I set out to do it. Then I also volunteer for others. Maybe I see my line manager struggling with a particular task or a particular thing she's struggling with. I can easily tell her that, oh, would you like me to help you with this? Most times she's very happy, and I'm the better for it, because I'm learning much more than what people that we are contemporaries. Some of my contemporaries that just choose to be like, okay, this is what I'm here to do, and I'll do it and go back home. I see the difference, and it's been over the years in my work. I see the difference between what they are able to do and what I am doing, because so many things that I would not have been able to do by now, I am able to do them through this volunteering. And volunteering is not just in my workspace alone. I do a lot of volunteering for social causes as well. And because of this volunteering, I'm able to learn more. I'm exposed to other ways of doing those particular things other than the way we have been doing it in my office. I'm exposed to it, so that when the need arises even in my office and somebody asks that, who has a new method of doing this thing, I can easily raise my hand and be like, oh, I can do it this way, this way, this way. So please, as much as possible, volunteer for projects. It can be in the community where you live. It can be in your estate. It can be in your religious place. Volunteer as much as possible. You gain more by volunteering than when you choose not to volunteer. Then Most importantly, I'll be wrapping up with this: seek out mentors. Nobody knows it all. All of us, we're a work in progress, we're learning every day. Let us always find a way to seek out people that can teach us those things that, people that we can climb on their shoulders and be able to see farther ahead. Let's seek out people that they have walked through the path that we're just walking through right now. And they will be able to tell us that, oh, when I was this was how I handled this. So we need to seek out mentors and be open with them. Be open and truthful. Share your mind with them. Seek their knowledge. Seek their experience. Seek as much as possible that you can gain from their intellectual capability. Let us seek mentors and also be great mentors to the girls coming behind us. Thank you very much. It's been a great privilege sharing tonight.
Wow, this is great. I don't know. I believe that everyone can. Is it possible for us to unmute and clap for her? Just unmute yourself and clap. I clap. Or you go to just give a thumb up. Look at it and you can imagine what we have gained. Very excellent presentation, and I will quickly recap one or two things that I've picked from this presentation. The most important thing probably I will take home from here is that women should support one another. Very, very key. If you are not your own enemy, the likelihood is that you are going to succeed. You are going to break the glass ceiling. So I am encouraged that she picked that one out, that women should not stand against themselves. Let's be friends. Let's support one another. Let's be the one that will say, oh, we want to rescue you in case there is domestic violence. Not that we are pulling ourselves down. No, better together, because that's very, very, the bias that women have against themselves is so real, and that is not the best. So I'm encouraged, I am happy, and I believe everybody is happy. Then secondly, I also want to pick one thing. There is need for us to ask for help. Ask for help as a woman. Don't think I cannot. Whereas just an advice, just a counsel, just a link. I would like us just go to the chat box, put your link address or put your email address. Somebody can help you, or just your profile. Probably from even this evening presentation, you may have somebody who will say, "Oh, I will pick it up." I'm very, very delighted that we have people on this presentation that can help us. You know, I, as a man, by the help of God, have been learning from women. You know, women are very fantastic. They will teach you, they will guide you, they will hold your hand, they will advise you, they will counsel you. And the women are there not to pull down, because they see everybody as a baby, somebody that they must nurture. So I am happy, and I would like to open the floor for comments about this presentation before we go to the question and answer. Let me start with our Vice Chancellor, Professor, I hope she's still there. You can unmute yourself, Prof. Yeah. Prof, you can unmute yourself. My Vice Chancellor, sir. I hope she's still there. Or Professor Faponle, I want to hear your feedback on this presentation before we start the question and answer. Hello.
Hi.
Just go ahead. Can you unmute yourself? Yes, Prof, my Vice Chancellor, UNICAF. can you speak on this presentation?
Thank you very much. That was a very good presentation that has been made, and she's touched on a number of important points. And I think, like in your case, one of the things that I really picked out is that everyone has what it takes to be what they want to be. Everyone. And you see, even the United Nations charter says that the rights are for everybody. You know, equal rights, it's for everybody. We all want our rights. Nobody doesn't want their rights. And so I think as women, we've got ourselves to support ourselves. We need to ride on the shoulders of those that are out there, and then we'll be able to see even where we are going. And the other point that she made, which was very, very important to me, was that those that are ahead now, those that are in decision-making positions in leadership, they need to be very careful how they carry themselves there, because then they are paving a way for those that are coming behind them. How we carry ourselves now is going to affect those that are coming behind us. Let us not be a people that are spoken about to say we cannot bring more women here because of the way these other women were able to behave. One of the things that is going on at the moment is what they're calling maternal war. And this is where they are saying, no, you see, women have got a baggage because of where they're coming from. Babies, every time they're getting permission to go back home because a child is sick, or the husband is not feeling too well, the husband also becomes part of the baggage of a woman, you know. And yes, those things are part and parcel of a life of a woman, as well as that of a man, except that the man has detached himself from that. And I think that is where we need to be very careful how we take that on our shoulders and forget our work and just concentrate on those things. Our portion, like she indicated when she talked about appraisals, during appraisals, when you are asked, this is what was apportioned for you for this particular period of time, how much of it have you done? I think we should be able to account for all of it, despite some of these things that we carry with us home. And yes, I also agree with her on the case of compartmentalizing some of the issues that we bring from home. There's a slight view that I would like to take on that one. One of the things that I tried to take hold of at my place of work, I learned it at one of the universities where I was first vice chancellor, was this young man who was very, very good. And every time he did his work, and then he got married. And after getting married, 2 or 3 months into his marriage, he started coming late. And this late coming continued to a point where it was getting to sometimes close to 30 minutes late, 1 hour late. And when he came back, when he would come back to the office, it was issues to do with his home, issues to do with his home. I think as leaders, we should also pay attention as to what is eating this person, because issues that are coming from home are also very, very important. We need to sit down with some of these individuals, because if we are going to be mentors, we shouldn't forget about where we are coming from. I think as individuals, what we have at home is part of what is making us tick, even at our workplace. So if there's a way in which as an organization we can help, for instance, if it is a mother who is failing to find a maid or somebody to support at home, why as a company can't we come up with a room? For instance, if we've got some spare room, employ somebody there that can be taking care of some of the babies of our mothers there. So probably every after 2 hours, they can go there and breastfeed, because then their mind is set, their mind is free. They can do the work because they know the baby is okay. But if we say, no, pack it up somewhere and pick it up, if a child is sick, you cannot do that. You cannot tear yourself out from there. So yes, sometimes that can work, but sometimes it may not work. We may need to be able to help.
Hello?
Thank you very much.
Prof, can we see your face? Sorry, I'm not stopping you. I just want to see that.
Sorry.
Good, because people will like, you can continue, but that's what I just wanted to say. Are you through?
Yes, I'm here, yes. So
okay,
I'm through, I'm actually through. And thank you very much. I think I really loved that presentation. I've learned a lot of things from it.
Good. I would like Dr. Gbayege to also comment on this presentation. Then after that, I would like our learned colleague, Oluwayemisi Dara Mola, to also make a comment on the presentation. Just to say 1 or 2 things. Let's pick it out. Yes, Dr. Gbayege. Okay, I think she's probably she will come later. Can we have our learning friends. I hope she's still there. Just unmute yourself. Hello. Or can we have Professor Yewusi just to comment on the presentation? Just unmute yourself. Oh, women should not be shy. We should share together. We should let us learn from one another. Okay, can we have our comrade, Rasakat? We can just, yes, I've seen you raise up your hand. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Can we have your
topic
camera? Can we have your camera on? Or if where you are is not comfortable, no problem. But if it's comfortable, so that we can see your face.
Good evening, everyone. Our doctor has given us a very good lecture on the woman. What I would learn from that is women should carry themselves along, and we should be our brothers' keepers. Because in most cases, women are their self-enemies. But thank God we are learning and we are improving on that. And we are happy that men are supporting us these days. And with that, we continue to move forward in all our endeavors. And in this note, I want to introduce, I have my senior colleague in this Zoom today. Her name is Omolara. That's the Secretary to the Women Commission, TUC. I would like her to comment on it as well. Thank you.
Good. Let her unmute herself and then make comments.
Comrade Omolara Sansa, can you please unmute yourself and comment?
I think she's not on. Are you sure she's on the?
Yes, I saw her there before. Maybe she's having challenge in there.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Okay, good. Any other person that want to make comments? Can we have Tosin also making comments? Bolorunduro from Canada, you can say something. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning. Oh, it's morning my time. Good evening. I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity. I came a little late, but I have picked up a couple of words of wisdom from everything that has been said. But one thing that resonated with me a lot, and it's something that I think somebody else, one of my mentors also mentioned last year in December, and I picked up on was the comment on, have a to-do list every day, then have a weekly to-do list, and have a monthly to-do list, and have a quarterly to-do list. Because as women and as humans generally, we all have our, things happen and things get sidelined. And if you don't have a goal, you don't have nothing to measure yourself based on. So if you have a realistic weekly plan and it doesn't work, you'll do it by the next week. If it doesn't work, you are more likely to achieve way more at the end of the year than if you do not have that. So if I know that maybe in 2015, 2016, I was having problems at the end of the year. Like, I don't feel like I've achieved a lot. And I know I would set a yearly goal, but because it's a year, you don't achieve as much, because a year is, we are not really doing the quarterly review, we're not doing a weekly review, it doesn't help as much. But I've come to realize that, the advice I got in December, and I also got it here today, is also if you have a weekly to-do list, you have a daily to-do list, you have a weekly to-do list, and it all comes together. At the end of the day, you find out that you've achieved way more than you ever thought you could. And I think that's the best that's the best advice I can give anyone. And I'm just reaffirming that statement, and I really appreciate sharing that comment. Thank you.
Great. That's very, very fine. I think for us to make progress on this meeting, I would like us to raise our hands if you have questions. Thank you so much, Tosin Bolorunduro, for that contribution. I think it's good for us to raise our hands so that we can ask questions, and then those questions can be answered by EMC. Is that okay, EMC?
That's very fine by me.
Good, good. So we have how many hands? I think EMC, can you take it one by one, just to make it faster? Just pick the hands and then let's go.
Okay, that's fine. I can see the hand of Comrade up again. Comrade Razakat, you can go ahead. Then Priscilla will follow immediately after.
I want to lower the hand, don't worry.
Okay, okay. So can we have my Priscilla Awoyomi? Okay. So both hands are lower now.
Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yes, I can hear you, madam.
Oh, okay, thank you. We have I'm quite young and I'm really privileged to have like opportunities to listen to women talk about supporting women and all these beautiful things. But I
Sorry,
think,
you are sounding very faint.
oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. My question is, in this time and age, most ladies don't get to hear this. Most young ladies do not get to hear this. And by the time they are getting to hear this, they're usually like older. They probably have a career, started a career, and they're going on in their life, and they have a family. How can we incorporate this knowledge into younger kids, younger girls, when they're still younger and their mindset, their belief system, their identity has not yet been formed, but it's still fresh, like we have a clean slate to work with, instead of, because I think it's harder to change bad habits than it is easier to grow good ones. So how can we be incorporating this very early on instead of coming when people are older? Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Very, very beautiful question. So, there's something I always advise people. Every one of us, we have younger girls around us. You have a niece, you have a neighbor's child, you have a little girl that just likes you and is always around you. You can start. That is the platform that has come to you free of charge. Start with that girl, be talking to her about worldview, about life, about values, about things generally. Let her be able to talk back to you so that you will be able to see how she thinks and you have an idea of the kind of mindset she has. In that exchange of ideas, exchange of values, and you'll be able to pass certain value system into that girl. As the girl is gaining all these things from you, when she has friends that come around to see her, she will drag one or two of them, come and listen to Auntie so and so. She's always talking to me about this. The other day in school when I was saying this is the auntie that taught me. The friends that come around you, you also start talking to them and mentoring them. One day you can just ask them, this is what I do. So I'm not sharing something just out of the blues. One day you can just ask, what if I come to your school and talk to all the girls about this? There's a day in October 16, Day of the African Child. You can plan a program and say that, what if I come to talk to all the girls in your school and we all sit down together and share about this thing? I can bet it for free that if you take that step, go to one school today, that school, you don't know who will talk about you in another school, to another teacher, and like that, you are gaining more grounds to be able to share all these kind of things, to be able to shape their mind in the right way.
I hope you are satisfied with that answer, or you still need more clarification? Good. Is there any other question? I have a question.
Okay, sir.
I hope I'm allowed.
You are allowed.
Good. what do you expect from men in this our generation, in this our dispensation? What do you think men needs to understand and needs to do in ensuring that we have more women breaking the glass ceiling?
We need the understanding of men. We need their listening ear. Don't come with a mindset that I know what you want. You just want to be equal with us. Don't feel threatened. So far, you have a mother that brought you into this world. You need to make the world a better place for your sister, for your wife, for your daughter, so that we can all help you to even achieve more in life. We need men to understand that we are not competing with you. We're only asking for how to make ourselves heard and how to leave the world a better place for other women coming behind us. We need to work hand in hand together to be able to take all those things, all that are limiting women, away from them and be the true defense that every human being needs. We need you to be our helper. We need you to be our support. We need you to be able to, when people are talking down on all these women and their wahala, you are the voice that is saying women don't have issue, they don't have wahala, women are not problematic. Women are only asking for what is right and fair for every human being. We need you to be able to celebrate our successes, because no matter what, from time to time, the imposter syndrome might come. So we need to have someone that says, you are doing so well. I'm encouraged by all the things I hear you doing. So we need every man out there to be the true support system that we crave for. And we need you to be able to see that, what is good for A is good for B. Let us give to these women what they truly desire. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. But I also have another question for our Vice Chancellor. I believe she's still there. I have a question for you, Professor Christine. I don't know, Mushibe. I'm very glad if you can pardon me the way I pronounce your name and answer this question. You shared something recently that actually I was thrilled. Encouraging women to aspire, to come up higher. How do we get people like you that will support these women? Because they also need women's support system to come up higher. You are a Vice Chancellor, and I'm excited. I'm happy you are a Vice Chancellor. The only female Vice Chancellor in Zambia. It's not just so cheap or easy like that. How can we get that support system for women? I hope she's there. Hello? Is there any way I can get her attention? Or is there anyone who can answer that for us?
Anybody wants to try in the house?
Where are you? Hello? She's still there?
Yes, she is.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, ma, or sir, I have a question for you.
She's not there. She's not there, sir.
She's still online. Our guest speaker can make a trial. What do you need to do?
What? Sorry, can you please take the question, sir?
The question is that we have somebody like the Vice Chancellor. And there is need for many women, they don't aspire to a position of authority, becoming Vice Chancellor, becoming MD. They always think that is for men. how do we raise up support system for women so that they can aspire to the peak of their career without intimidation, without feeling it's only for men?
Thank you very much. So, you know, one of the best way to do this is to mentor the younger women. Mentor them, coach them, let them see that whatsoever they set their mind to do, they can be it. And you know, as a mentor, I always set career goals for my mentees. Now, okay, so you need to do this. I always ask them to give me their plan, really, not that just push it down their throat. In the next 3 years, where do you see yourself? Think through it in terms of this level of your career. In the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? In the next 10 years, where do you see yourself? So when they bring it, we now look at it together. Okay, so what are the things you need to do to be able to get this? We look at people that are already at that level. What are the things that they've done? How did they get there? What are the courses they took? What are the professional certifications that they did? So we plan that into the career planning process of these my mentees. Then we'll now start targeting it. Okay, by this I need to do this professional certification. By this I need to get this degree. By this I need to do this. By that, you know, I need to attend these courses. I need to meet with this person. Put everything together, and you know, we start running with that vision. By that, you are encouraging, you are breaking it down to the simplest form. So the person is now looking at it that, oh, so it's even this easy to be this. So I just need to do this, you know. You have set a vision for their life. You have mapped out everything that needs to be done for them to attain that. And you know, you make it so easy for them and so attainable, so to say. So that is one of the best way, I believe, young girls, young ladies can see that there's nothing that can limit me once I set my mind to it. Thank you, sir. I hope I've answered the question very well.
Perfect. I'm happy you answer very well. I don't think there's any question for you again. I've not been able to notice the second speaker. She made me to understand she's having challenge with her
Network.
the network. I don't know whether she's there because I can see one iPhone guest. I don't know whether she's the one.
Yes, sorry. I'm using my phone now.
Oh wow, wow!
Yes, this is Andrina. Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a great privilege having you here. And I thought you wouldn't be able to make it. I think we appreciate that you just go straight to your presentation. But I will say one or two things before you do that. Just like we have seen the profile of Hendrina, she is somebody that loves speaking about skill, about educating the young ones. And I would not want to mention the name of where she worked for, except if she wants to mention that, but she's actually passionate about women. She's passionate about skill acquisition. She's passionate about liberating the young ones. And she just have 10, 15 minutes to share her mind with us on the topic that we are discussing tonight. So, Edrina, you can go ahead and make your presentation.
Sorry,
okay.
Edrina, sorry. Before, I believe I can take my leave, right?
You have another meeting, right?
No, I don't have another meeting. But before she comes on, please, I would like to appreciate my friend. She's been a friend through thick and thin, and she's here with me tonight. I just want to acknowledge her presence. She's Miss Constance Alabi. She's my very, very, very good friend.
Can we see her face? Can we see her face?
Constance, show your face.
Can you just show your face, unmute yourself?
Hello, Constance. Say hello to the house.
I hope she's not feeling shy. No, she's
Okay.
not. Good. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, that's your face. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. It's wonderful having you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
It's
so much.
always nice.
Thank you so much.
To share things like this that will help all of us grow one way or the other. And I particularly love my friend, the MEC. She has been so wonderful, and I encourage and support everything that she does, because I know that she's always aiming high, and she needs people like us to go the whole hog with her. So every time I will be there for her. Thank you, Yemisi. Thank you for being you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Constance. And I know that you and Yemisi, you will raise up support.
Thank you, sir.
So Yemisi, you will raise up your hand again. Can we?
No, sorry.
Good.
I need to put it down now. I raised it up because of I wanted to speak about Constance. Thank you.
Good. So I will still want us to be on the call.
I will be.
So that at least they learn from Hendrina also, and then we can ask 1 or 2 questions. And if there is need for you to answer, we'll also call you to answer questions. So Hendrina, over to you. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Thank you, Dr. Femi. And let me just start by apologizing. I'm in a place where I cannot even, my internet is so bad. I will not be able to, let me see if I can. I'll not be able to show myself because I think I've been struggling for the last 45 minutes or so. I had to drive somewhere just to make sure that I get the connection and so on. So please just forgive me for that. Secondly, just to appreciate everyone, and again, to just apologize. I know I should have been on this call much earlier, but thanks to my co-speaker, I think I listened in to just the latter bit of her presentation, which is really wonderful. And thank you for being mentors to the young women who are coming up, because certainly they need us, they need our support, and they just need somebody to hold their back. And I want to appreciate you for doing what you do. So my name is Hendrina Deroba. I'm one of those people who is who I am because somebody supported me, somebody helped me, somebody encouraged me, somebody made me believe in myself to say that everything is possible as long as you have that belief, as long as you have that confidence in yourself. So I want to tell my story building on my own experience as to where am I coming from, and what do I see as my future, even at my age. First of all, just to acknowledge that I have a very humble beginning. I started off, I'm a village girl, let me put it that way. I'm a village girl who went to a village school. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm having these challenges today is because I had to go back to that school. I'm trying to do a story about what it means to appreciate where you're coming from, but also to say that, you know, your past does not define your future. As long as you know where you want to go, you certainly get there. What is important is for you to just be focused and aspire to do what others cannot do, because you are a special being that is a special being from God, and nobody else is like you except you. But you can get support from others, and you can hold hands with others for you to be able to achieve what you plan to achieve. So this is what I've been doing. I've actually I'm trying to write something about my life and appreciating where I'm coming from. And unfortunately, where I went, it's quite a remote place, and it's been very difficult to get access. And I couldn't have it on any other day because we had an appointment to do it today. So, but I apologize for that. So key things that I want to mention, and I'll be very, very brief so that I can allow for questions. Number one is, yes, remain focused. Like I said, you are who you are. you have the capacity, you have the capability to actually define who you are. Years ago, when I was in that village school where I was going to school with many other girls, barefooted, I must say. But there's one thing that I believed in myself, that one day I'm going to come back to this village and just change the way people look at girls and women in this village. Because we're in a situation where very few of the girls, first of all, were attending school at the school. The primary school I went to is called in Kole. If you want, you can Google nowadays, you can actually go. So it's, you know, it's one of the remote primary school in Zambia, somewhere in Kapirimposhi, the rural part of Kapirimposhi. And just to go back to my story, so there were very few people. And at the time I was going to school, we had to do what we call the selection exam. And very few, sometimes none of the girls could actually go through that selection exam after 7 years of being in primary school. And I just couldn't understand why that would be so, when both girls and boys were actually going to the same school and they were being taught by the same teacher. But when it comes to selection, none of the girls would actually qualify. And I just couldn't believe. But from that moment, I told myself, I'm going to qualify and I'm going to go to a secondary school, because I had seen other girls who had actually gone to secondary school. And I kept asking my dad to say, how come these people are able to go? Why is it that most of us are failing and these girls are actually going to secondary school? At that time, there was a girls' secondary school which I was really admiring and aspiring to go to. And my late father used to say, you know, those people have the brains that you have. So it's a matter of determination, it's a matter of focus, and you have the potential to actually be who you want to be. That actually stuck into my head up to today. It really stuck into my head and said, okay, so if we have the same brains, then that means I can get somewhere. And I want to say that I remained focused up to today. In my career journey, I have faced situations where people, I'm a mathematician by profession, where people will tell you mathematics is not for women. What are you doing in that field? Can you just, find something else to do? You are wasting your time. But I would always recall that word from my father to say, remain focused. You can do it. If everybody else has done it, you'll not be the first one. You can do it. And the other thing that he did, which I only appreciate now, is he used to bring up stories of women that have excelled in their life. And he would just tell me, read about this person and tell me what you think, what you think made this woman to actually excel. That again encouraged me. And I made a decision that whatever I do in my life, I'll always do my best to try and help somebody else. Because sometimes it's not about what you give to the monetary thing that you give to the girl. It's just the word of encouragement, just to uplift, just to support. And sometimes it's just saying, yes, you can do it. That can make a difference for one to aspire to wherever they want to be. And I know when I joined the Corps, I think there was a question on how do you encourage women to be professors and to be vice chancellors. Even just by having a conversation like we are having now, you'd make a difference in somebody's life. And the problem for women sometimes is that most of the role models that we're exposed to are not people that have excelled, and they'll always give you reasons why they haven't excelled. But that was 20 years ago. Now we have people that have excelled that we can look up to, that can inspire us, that can actually challenge us, that can make us realize that, we have what it takes to be where we want to be. And so even as we celebrate the International Women's Day, for me, I think the word to the young ones and to all those that I've interacted with, that has been my message. You have what it takes to make a difference first in your life. If you make a decision that I am a gem as I am, everything else does not matter, because that gem in you can actually create the gem that you want to see. It's not about who that person is, because God created us. I'm sorry, I believe in God. God created each one of us differently, and everybody has got a special gem. And if we can use that and focus on that, you can break the ceiling. You can do anything. Because some of us have gone through that, and we are who we are now, not because there's anything special, but because God made me special. And God has given me this talent that has made me do what I do best. And because I've remained Hendrina, that Hendrina who lived in some village in Nkole, walking to school with cracked feet and so on, that's the past. But here I am, enjoying what I do, supporting others to reach their full potential. The girls that are listening here can also do the same. But first, they must change about them inside and change who they are and how they look at themselves. Building that inner confidence is important, because how you feel inside is what you attract. And you can do it, because it's not about anybody else. It's about you. Treasure the you. Treasure the gem in you. And use it to excel. Use it to break that glass ceiling. Sorry, I think I have to end here. Once again, thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope next time I will not come in last minute, but that I'll be able to give my time, and I'll be able to answer any question. But feel free to get in touch, and we can chat whenever I'm available. We can chat on WhatsApp or whatever media. But thank you, and have a good evening. I'm happy to answer one or two questions before you end.
Thank you so much. I wish that we can also unmute ourselves and clap for Hendrina. Unmute yourself and clap for her, or you send on the chat box just to say, wow, so that she can also read it. Excellent presentation, short, powerful, and she started by giving us our background. Village girl, just like me, I'm a village boy too. And you cannot but talk about your background. Your background is for the past. Your present actually is critical, your tomorrow. So she made us to understand about our background, that she understands that she is special. And it's very, very important for us to also know that she advised that we get support from other. Our parents actually her dad made her to understand she can be the very best. And it's very, very important for us. I have learned today, I can be the very best. What of you? Hello, I can be the very best. Then the takeaway is that we should remain focused. We should know that we have capacity, that you are a lady, that you are a girl, does not actually determine what you will be. Just be focused. And I'm very, very sure that you understand for her that the brain of a boy is the same brain of a girl. So you use your brain, be focused, and go for the goal and make a difference in someone's life. You have what it takes to make that difference. And most importantly, I got something from her. She said God's factor. She believes in God. And I believe every one of us on this call, we believe in God. Hold on to God and don't allow any challenge or difficulty to dissuade you or hinder you. God is always by our side. Thank you so much, Hendrina, for your presentation. And now we'll quickly go to ask our question. Just raise up your hand and then you'll be allowed to ask your question. Is anyone with question? Anyone with question for Hendrina? I expect us to ask questions. Your question is very, very important. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I just have one question. So you have an amazing story, and it's important to, again, you said your dad played a major role in your life, and that's, I can really definitely relate to that, because I never knew that being a woman was a problem until maybe a few years back, because my dad would tell you, you do everything a man can do, you are smart, you are this. So I understand that, and that's great, and we can never trade that for anything. But so you also have to understand that there, especially being African, there are some men, some fathers that do not really share that perspective. How you're also taught to be respectful. How would be the, like, based on your experience and your exposure, what would be your advice to such a child, and how would she be able to break free, but also understanding the community she's coming from? If that makes sense.
Thank you, Tosin. I hope I got the question. And if I didn't, please feel free to come back. So you're saying, how does a girl who is living in a situation where she's not getting the support from her father?
Or the community, yes, just the community,
the
as a whole,
community.
yeah, as a whole, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, again, I'll just give my own experience. The fact that I got support from my father doesn't mean the community supported what my father supported. And I know I cut my story too short, but my father is that parent who had more. In fact, he had more girls than boys. We were about 7 of us were girls, and only 3 were boys in our family. And one of the challenges he was experiencing himself is that the community didn't believe in him investing in the girls. They were totally against and saying, it's a sheer waste of time, because these women are going to get married, they will leave you alone, they will not look after you. So why are you wasting time? Why are you investing money for such? And to make matters worse, for me, even as I was growing up, I used to face a lot of challenges, even among the male folks. I'm in class, I'm being taught by a male teacher, and the male teacher is telling me, you don't waste your time raising up your hand, because the kind of questions I'm asking, they are not for girls. These are questions for men. Of course, there were moments that I would go back, cry and scream and say, and my father would say, there's no point, because this is what that person thinks. That's not what you think. So can you hold on to your belief? But I go to the community and everybody's telling me, no, maths is not for girls. So how do I hold on to my belief, and the community is taking me something else? It's telling me something else. So I think for me, what is important, of course, like I said, it's just have that confidence. The second bit is talk about it. I think society defines us as women as to what we can do and what we cannot do. And sometimes as women, we need to show that, we can do what everybody else can do. And I think talking about it helps. If that doesn't work, seek for help. There are many other women out there who can actually hold your hand and support you. And sometimes it even takes me to actually go and talk to, if it's a parent, and say, and make them appreciate. I'll give you a quick example. I don't know how much time I have. When I was managing a program where we're actually supporting supporting young girls to believe in themselves and to just see that education is important for them and that they can excel like anybody else. We picked this one individual girl who was actually being seen as somebody who cannot do anything in that community, and supported the girl and used her to go back to the community and show community that actually when you invest in a girl, they can do wonders. So there are different things that we as community can do to actually support. And I think we've been doing quite a lot as society to try and improve the way society looks at girls and the way society looks at men. The fight is not yet over, but I think we've made great milestones, and we continue to support each other, we continue to uplift each other, we continue to talk about the issues, and we continue to appreciate. Now remember, we are not saying the fact that I'm a woman, I want to be a man. No, I love who I am. I love being a woman. All I need is give me the right to do what I want to do. Give me the respect to enjoy my womanhood, my girlhood. And I think we can talk about this and, make society appreciate that you are who you are, because you're meant to be a woman. So yes, society is not friendly in some situations, but let's continue working together. And I think we've seen situations where we've worked together, where we've talked about these issues, and we've seen the change. Even when you look at the policy issues, if I go global, there's so much that has been done to actually change and create situations where women are respected, where women are given opportunity, where women are given a chance, and where girls are given the opportunity to go to school. So let's continue talking about it. And I think things are changing, maybe not at the rate what we would like it to be, but I think we are making a difference. So I would encourage such to actually seek support, or us as people within the civil society could maybe support that particular. There are different things that we can do, but let's continue the fight. That's what I can say. Thank you so much, Tosin.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much for that. That was a beautiful answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Can we have the next question? Thank you, Andrea, for that inspiring response to that question. Yes, go ahead. Next person. Kindly unmute yourself and speak.
Good evening, Ma. Thank you very much for this presentation. I really enjoyed this, and it was very interactive for me. I have a question about how women can truly live and not try.
Louder. Speak louder.
Oh, I have a question on how women can truly live and not try to prove a point, because sometimes we can get caught up in situations where women are not allowed or given resources to really compete with their counterparts that are males. But when they actually get such, they see it as an opportunity to prove a point versus just truly living. Because I believe that the males, they don't have to try to prove a point with the things that they are doing, or with their work, with education, with things that they find to do. They don't have to prove a point. They don't have to show, oh, I can do this, because they believe, oh, the odds are for me and people are for me. But women have to work twice harder. They have to prove a point. How do we try not to live like that? Because I feel there's a thin line between truly doing what you really want to do versus proving a point. That's my question, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Priscilla. I think that's a very interesting question. I think basically you are saying, how would I live as a woman in a society? Remember, gender is about the way society construct the roles of women. How do I live in a society where I'm given the freedom to be who I am without fighting to be what is expected of me? And I think for me, culture plays a part in the way women are treated. Society responsibilities that are bestowed on us also play a part. And so we need to recognize that in one way. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's a lot that has happened in terms of, you know, creating an enabling environment for women not to, we should actually not fight. We should be who we are. But we can do a few things, a couple of things that we can actually be comfortable. Number one, like I said, just have, in the midst of the confusion, I'll take it. Have that confidence that you are very special. You are a woman, number one. Number two, speak about the issues that you are experiencing, because sometimes we take it for granted that, you know, even our boy folks, that they understand our problem. Sometimes they don't. But because society makes them believe that, no, they are entitled to this and women are not entitled, life goes on like that. But we've also seen situations where, because we've talked about how we feel, because we've talked about what is expected of us, we've seen the change. Because then society appreciates to say, oh, okay, so the woman must be given the right as a man has the same right. Whether we can live freely and say, oh, I don't want to fight, not yet, unfortunately. But I want to assure you that the life I've gone through and the life you are going through are different in terms of gender issues. And because we stood up, because we spoke about our experience, because we appreciated who we are, a lot of things have changed. And so don't see it as a fight, but rather acknowledging who you are, appreciating who you are, and just make people take you as who you are. Your action now will help the other girl coming up. Just as the environment now is much better than it was 10 years ago. Because somebody stood up and said, I have the same right as the other person has. So let's continue, let's work together, let's support one another. Above all, appreciate and respect each other, because we are made differently in the eyes of God. I don't know if I've answered the question, but just...
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I also, can I add to all what you have said, Rina?
Please go ahead, Dr. Femi.
Good. I just want us to understand that men, women, and our community appreciate impact, positive impacts. Men, women, and our community also appreciate influence, positive influence, and inspirations, inventions, instructions, and invitations in dialogue, constructive one, once they are positive. So women, you have what it takes to do that, and you can do it more effectively than men. So we should just, whenever we see issues that probably are against us, we should just make sure we use our weapon effectively, so that we will be able to achieve that which we have proposed for ourselves, and that God-given aspiration, you will also have it. So that's just what I want to add to that. So we should make sure everything that we do adds value to the community, to the society. At the long run, the society, the men, and everyone will see that we have made significant contribution to themselves, to us, and to our community. That's just what I want to add. I hope I've been able to add something to what you said earlier on, Edrina.
Yes, you have, Dr. Femi. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So on behalf of African Young Brain, I don't know whether Yemisi is still there. Right, you want to add?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to add one or two things before I do the concluding remark?
No. She spoke so well, and I'm so happy with the presentation. Thank you so much.
Great. So any other person want to say one or two things? I would have loved Dr. Ogbaige to say one or two things, but it's like she's been there. Can you unmute yourself?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity to be part of this. And then, and thank you, speakers. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm grateful to be here. Breaking bias, and like you've rightly said, for the younger ones, for the younger ones, the female, the girls, this is the time, there's no limit. You can aim higher. Don't put a seal that, okay, maybe this is where I want to be or this is where I want to get to. You can, and be rest assured that you're going to have people that would assist you. And like someone mentioned too, don't, like Dr. Femi said earlier on, don't look at it that, okay, this is what I want to do and maybe there's nobody to help me. You can always have somebody that will be there to help you. Just reach out, tell someone, tell two people, this is what I need. I learned over the time that you can always find help if you reach out to be helped. You can always have help that you need, all the help that you need. And it's very important so that in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, we are in a better world. We see many of our girls doing well. We see more women, taking up leading roles, taking up responsibilities, and leading others to, passing on the baton from now to another generation of girls, of ladies. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I would like to sincerely appreciate our guest speaker, Yemisi Adekunle, Hendrina. Thank you so much. It has been a great time with you, and you've shared your mind with us. And since this can be accessed even on the YouTube, I know that people will have access to it. And I hope that next time when we call on you, we will definitely have you also with a larger audience than this. Thank you, and we appreciate you. For those of you that you made this possible, I say a big thank you to you also. Our special visitor, Mrs. Alabi, thank you for attending. We are very, very grateful. Priscilla, Aishat Abdulaziz, I've not heard your voice. Can you say one or two things, Aishat? Aishat, can you unmute yourself? We want everybody to actually say one or two things. Okay. Thank you, Tosin, for being part of this. And for our prof, Professor Ibironke Oyewusi. I said you should speak, but I don't know. Would you like to say one or two things, Prof? Professor Oyewusi. I'm very, very sure you'll become a Vice Chancellor. Can somebody say amen? Just unmute yourself and follow me. We want more women.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yes, thank you so much, our comrade. And is there anyone I left behind? No. Dr. Gbaege, our guest speaker, and those that have left, I appreciate everyone. So on this note, we will end this special International Women's Day celebration by African Young Brain. African Young Brain actually is a social enterprise that actually seeks to identify young brains in Africa, not limited by age, not limited by sex or gender, but young brain. You understand? It's not limited by age, it's not limited by gender, it's not limited by anything. Once you want to lend helping hand, that is brainy, that is important. So we gather people together to help one another showcase the very best from Africa. And I will want you to support us anytime we call on you. I thank for those that have been of great support to African Young Brain in the time past. And I look forward to 2022 because there is something special we are planning exclusively for women. We are having international conference for women. Is that okay? International conference for women will be organized by African Young Brain. If you are in support, just type on the chat bar and say, I am supporting. I am supporting. Just go to the chat box and say, I support. International conference for what? For women, only for women. And we are looking at 500 participants. It will be blended. We have physical, and then we have also people that will join us globally. So we'll look at that. And when we call on you to be part of the team, please just volunteer, just support us. And if you have sponsors, opportunity, people that want to actually sponsor us, we'll be so, so glad. I say once again, thank to our guest speakers, thank to you, EMC, thank to you, Adrina, thank to you, all participants. I wish you the very best of this weekend. And I say bye-bye to everyone. You can just unmute yourself and say bye-bye to everyone. Just greet.
Thank you, and bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Mouse, we appreciate you.